I'm Dale Williams, and this is the Sports Vision's television show. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, the 5th annual Female Athlete of the Year luncheon that was scheduled for April 16th this year has been rescheduled to June 11th at 11:30 a.m. at St. Luke United Methodist. And for those out there that want to be involved in this great event, you can call Dale Williams at 706-681-5192, or you can call DJ Jones at 706-681-1136. And here's some highlights from last year's Female Athlete of the Year luncheon.
We have twins here today. Ladies, tell us your name.
Ashley Whitley, and I'm Ainsley Whitley.
In what school?
Marion County.
Okay, all right. How does it feel to be honored today?
It feels great to be recognized for all the hard work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not only as individuals, but as twins too, because we come as one unit, so.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Now tell us your sports.
Softball, basketball, and track.
So you both play the same sports?
All three sports, yes
Oh,
ma'am.
man. That is amazing. What an inspiration. Are you going to go to the same college?
Yes, ma'am. We're both going to Virginia Tech. We signed to Virginia Tech to play softball.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so proud of you. Well, what would you like to say to Sports Vision?
Thank you for giving us this opportunity and finally recognizing young women for the sports they play. I think it's really important because women are just as much athletes as men are. So I think recognizing women, some are even better than men. Like when we go to our school, I'll be challenging the boys too. So I think it's really important that women get recognized too.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it from the Girl Power right here at Sports Vision 4th Annual Female Athlete Luncheon. Another set of twins here. This is historic. Never happened before, but it's happening here at the 4th Annual Sports Vision Female Athlete Luncheon. Congratulations, ladies. Tell us your name.
Shubrick Leslie. Jubrick Leslie.
Say that again.
Shubrick Leslie. Jubrick Leslie.
I hope you got it. What school?
Greenville High School.
Okay. All right. How does it feel to be honored and recognized for your achievement today?
You know, it's a big thing because we've been working hard to get to this place, so we still
Absolutely.
I feel appreciated and stay motivated and things.
Absolutely. Do you have plans after high school? Where are you going?
I'm not for sure on what college I want to go to, but I still want to play basketball.
Absolutely.
Same.
So that's your sports. The both of you play basketball.
Basketball, run track, and we play volleyball. So.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. All three, both of you? All three? This last set of twins played 3 sports as well. I told you, never happened before in history. But here, right here in Columbus. Well, congratulations, ladies. We're so proud of you. What would you like to say to Sports Vision for recognizing your achievement?
I just want to say thank you, and yeah, we're gonna be. Thank you, and we appreciate. Thank you. I appreciate this support.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're watching it here on CTV Beam. And now we're talking to the visionaries of Sports Vision with here the 4th Annual Female Athlete Luncheon. It has been another historic event, as always.
Very proud and very honored to have the opportunity to celebrate and honor these young ladies, and of course the corporate partners that, again, entrust us with their brand and their resources. It's just a great day.
Absolutely.
You know, this is really the largest event that we've had with the Female Athlete of the Year luncheon, and you know, one of the big things about it that me and DJ always task one another when we say, do it right the first time, and it'll continue to grow and grow and grow. And this has grown, you know, over 300, over 400 people will probably being here from the first time. But we got a lot of things we do. We want to continue to get better, and thanks to our corporate sponsor, we will get better.
You have some amazing sponsors. One thing I'll tell you about what the girls have said when we talked to them off camera is it felt good to be recognized.
Absolutely, and again, I can't say this enough, that Dale and I both grew up here in this community. We knew what it was like to have people to celebrate you and honor you with a nice luncheon or a banquet. And again, the sports writers, of course, the television personalities, we knew what it was like to see the highlights after the game, or to wake up the next morning and look in the newspaper and see your name. So we had to reciprocate. We wanted to do that for these kids because it had dried up and went away.
And you know, you see it a lot of time for the males, but why was it so important for the females?
Because it was an opportunity for us to empower them, and you know, really for us having daughters and knowing how good these young ladies are doing. You know, when I told people about the profile, the 4.0, multiple sports, valedictorians of classes, presidents of student bodies. I mean, I think really they put in the work. They deserve all the shine that they can possibly get. And again, like I said, we have some great young ladies in this whole area.
Absolutely. Do you guys realize the positive force that you are? As I have always come to and this is my second time coming to your events, I always look for the most profound thing about it. And the biggest thing that stands out with you guys is that you are a foundation of hope. And I know that's powerful, but that's what I felt. You are a foundation of hope for other athletes.
You have to be a blessing to get a blessing, and I think that the good Lord has blessed Dale and I with sports visions to honor and celebrate these athletes and coaches. And again, we just one of his vessels, and we just proud, and we know we don't take advantage of it. We don't do anything that we're not supposed to do. We just want to serve and help these young people, and you know what? Somebody helped us.
Absolutely, and you're paying it forward.
And really the biggest thing, and we talk about this all the time, how sports draws the community together. And really I think when you find things that you have common with people about unified on a whole lot of other things, nothing does that better than sports. And I think really when we bring a room of people like we had today, blacks, Mexicans, white, that's what the world needs right now.
Absolutely.
And it's really it's involved in sports. Any kind of sports that you do, if you're gonna have something in common, and we definitely have in common how we treat our children.
Absolutely. It's a total diverse crowd. I love it. Well, you heard it from your hometown sports guys, Sports Vision, DJ Jones and Dale Williams. They are amazing. They're not only sports guys, but they are role models in our community. They're taking it beyond sports. I love it. You're watching Street Talk here on cable TV.
Bus is coming in 10 minutes. Come eat breakfast. Hey, watch the homework.
Do you know it's supposed to rain?
Where's my gray hat? Where did you leave it?
It's your body.
What time does practice end today?
I like that headband. It really makes a statement.
Are you gonna with us to work? Let's go, bus is here.
Liberty Utilities natural gas. So reliable, you'll forget we're there.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
We think you would really shine in the Aflac program.
Aflac?
Coach Saban, we have health insurance.
Did health insurance pay for everything?
No. We still have bills.
Aflac gives you money directly to help with those.
Aflac?
And your deductibles, knee brace, whatever you choose.
Aflac sounds like a winner.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. We try.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Get to know us at aflac.com.
For all of your tire and service needs, be sure to visit Complete Tire and Service, 3109 Victory Drive in Columbus. For your convenience, we have a 20,000 square foot state-of-the-art building, premium environment to the customer. For workstations, Wi-Fi, we carry Bridgestone, Firestone, Falcon, and Continental. Our managers have over 125 combined years in the industry. We have 24/7 commercial roadside assistance, DOT inspections, complete automotive services. Our phone number is 706-940-0982. Be sure to visit Complete Tire and Service, 706-940-0982.
Dishes. Not pretty in your sink. Not pretty on your house. Weather interference. Also not a pretty picture. And those long-term contracts and early cancellation fees. The fine print is pretty ugly. With Beam, there are no contracts, channels you want, high-speed internet, and no data caps. And above all, local customer service. Now that's pretty. Ask us today about our contract buyout special in cable and internet bundles. Beam, we're powered by you.
And welcome back to Sports Visions. And don't forget to save this date. This year, the 13th annual Sports Vision High School football luncheon that will be scheduled December the 10th at 11:30 at St. Luke United Methodist. Over the years, we've had some great speakers from Dabo Swinney to Nick Saban to even Mayor Eddie Lowe. Here's some highlights from that event.
And I said, now guys, one of these days, we're going to hit all 5 of them goals. And when we do, we'll win it all. But these are worthy goals. We're not going to hit all 5 of them goals every year, but I promise you these goals are set up to challenge us to be the best we can be at Clemson. And so we go through that process. Some years we hit 3 out of 5, hit 4 out of 5. And then all of a sudden in 2015, same goals, and they changed now the rules were different in 09 when I got the job. It was the BCS and all that stuff. And so fast forward to 2015, they changed the rules. But see, I failed to reset. And so we play Alabama in that first national championship in Arizona. Now listen, we won the opener, we won the division, we won the state championship, we won the ACC championship, and we won the bowl game. Whooped Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. So we hit every one of them goals. But man, then we had to go play Alabama. And we got beat. And I came back, and that's the first thing I told our team when we started back in February, our new team for 16. I said, guys, it's 100% my fault. Because y'all come in here every day, you look at these goals, you see what's there, and I didn't dream big enough. I didn't set us up for victory. So I've changed the goals. I've changed them. Our goals are win the opener, win the division, win the state championship, win the ACC, and win the closer. I said, now, if we hit all 5 of them, we're going to win it all. And so we came back last year, and we hit all 5 of them, and we won it all. So the point in that is you set goals and you achieve goals, you got to reset them. You got to always strive. You can't ever arrive. You can't ever be complacent. You got to the best of the best are always trying to get better. So it's a great lesson for you young folks. Second fundamental, got to be involved. You can't sit on the couch and play video games every day. I hate that. All right? I didn't even have time to play Atari when I was growing up. Y'all can Google Atari. All right? I didn't have time for that. Man, you got to be involved. Iron sharpens iron. Ain't no iron sharpening iron sitting there on a video game. You got to be involved. Be involved in sports. Be involved in your community. Be involved in your church. Find ways to give back. When you get involved, it creates opportunities for you. It creates and develops work ethic. It helps you to develop relationships that you're going to need as you go through life. I always tell our players, you got to go make it happen. And the only way you can go make it happen is to get involved. Hey, man, listen, I had nothing as a kid, but you know what I did? I went and made it happen. I grabbed one end of a ladder, another guy grabbed the end of a ladder when we were 14 years old, and a rake and a blower, and off we went knocking on doors, cleaning gutters. We started that business when we were 14. I cleaned gutters all till I was 26 years old. I didn't even have to, by the time I was in college, they just expected me to come clean their gutters. Just expected me to. I didn't even have to knock on the door. There's 3 types of people. There's those that make it happen. There's those that make it happen. There's those that watch it happen. And then there's those that wake up about noon and go, what the heck just happened? And so when you get involved, when you take ownership of your life, when you take ownership of your happiness and don't let other things determine those things, you make it happen. Be a make it happen person and understand that there is no elevator to success. There's no elevator to greatness. I was at a coaching convention a year or so ago, and I'm getting ready to get on an elevator. I was in Louisville, and a couple young coaches, a couple young GAs came up to me, and they were like, you know, Coach Sweeney, hey, I'm such and such, and, you know, they want to meet me, and they were eager to say hello, and like, Coach, man, we want to be a head coach, and we just want to know, you know, like I'm going to give them a pill, you know, like I'm going to be able to, okay, well, download this app right here, you know. It don't work that way. You know what I told them? I said, well, let me just tell you this. I'm about to get on this elevator, and I'm going to hit 14 because I'm on the 14th floor. You got to take the steps. There's no elevator to success. There's no app. All right, you got to put the work in. And the thing I love about the game of football, as much as the game has changed and different things, man, it's hard work. It's hard work. And the other thing I've learned through the game of football is you can outwork people. When I got to Alabama, I'll never forget it, man. My first practice, I'm looking out there, I'm like, man, I ain't ever going to play. Holy cow, this guy's faster than me, stronger than me, he's bigger than me. Oh, my gosh. earned a scholarship, lettered 3 years, played on a national championship team. What I learned is you can outwork people. You can outthink people. You can outwant people. You can out-effort people. You can out-tough people. That's what the game taught me. You can outbelieve people. Okay? There is no elevator. The third thing I wrote down, and I hope y'all will listen to this, is friends. It is so critical that you surround yourself with good people. All right? The Bible says that bad company corrupts good character. All right? My mom said, if you run with dogs, you get fleas. And that's so true. That's so true. You get in the car and they smoking marijuana, it's on you. It's on you. Okay? So listen to me. Don't buy the lie that sometimes your neighborhood wants to sell you. Sometimes who you think your friends are. Surround yourself with good and tough people only. All right? It is so important that you understand that. Seek wisdom from others. Seek wisdom from others. I tell my players all the time, you're going to learn from your own experience. You touch that hot stove, you just learned. You learned. But the wise person learns through other people's experience. The wise person learns through other people's failures, other people's successes. So it's so important that you do that. Surround yourself with the right people. It says in Proverbs, where there is no counsel, the people fall. But in the multitude of good counselors, there is safety. All right, I'm one person at Clemson. I'm just one person. I have a team of coaches. I have a team of staff. All right, I have surrounded myself with a multitude of good counselors. All right, that's where the safety is. Everything good in my life that has happened to me has come through the good of other people, through team. My wife, we met in the 1st grade, started going together in the 6th grade. You know, y'all call it talking to each other now or whatever. We started like going together. And then dated all through high school and college, been married 24 years. Everything good in my life has come because of good people around me. Everything. The next thing I would tell you is education. This one will touch you a little bit, especially you athletes, because you think so much about your sport, and I understand that. You're passionate about that. But I'm most proud of all the things that I have achieved in my life. I'm most proud, and the biggest change in my life came when I walked across that stage in Tuscaloosa, Alabama to get my degree. You have no idea what a game changer that was for my family. All right, it's like my family, we grew another trunk on our tree when I got my degree. Nobody in my family had been to college. Nobody. My parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my great-great-grandparents, my 2 older brothers, nobody had been to college. That was the game changer for me. And listen, football's been amazing. The experiences, the relationships, unbelievable. But man, that got me out of the long line and put me in the short line. It gave me a qualification where people could not discount me. It created opportunities for me that I probably would have never had. I certainly wouldn't have the job I have if I hadn't had my degree. And so, man, I was the first in my family, and I went to school, and this is what I love about our country. And listen, there's always good and there's always bad, but let me tell you, the one thing we do have in this country is opportunity. If you got the will. All right, so I can just tell you, I don't know what all your situation is, but if this guy right here can get an education, you can. I went to college on Pell Grants and student loans. Eventually earned a scholarship, went on to get a master's degree. Football is a vocation. Your education is your career. Don't ever forget that. It is a game changer for you. And here's the thing about it, man, they cannot take it away. Your house can burn down, they can fire you from your job, but they can't ever take that education away. It is so important that you understand that, and understand that as big and strong as a lot of you young guys are in here today, you need to listen to this. If you play this game till you're 30, you're ancient. Your academic ability will far outlive your athletic ability. So make sure that you are being the best you can be academically. All right, that you be a person of excellence in everything that you do. High school degree versus a college degree. It is a proven fact that you will make $1 to $1.5 million more over your lifetime with a college degree. And for you guys that aspire to play in college, understand, first of all, how special you guys are here today. 5.6% of high school football players play college football. 1.67% of the college players play in the NFL. 1.67% of the college players play in the NFL. You better get that degree. And you better understand how important it is. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't strive for that. If you know it's that, if you know that's the odds, then you better put in the work, and you better do everything you can to give yourself the best edge possible. Make sure you understand that. So, it truly is the key to your future. When I became the head coach in 2009 at Clemson, the very first thing I did, day one, I set the vision and the philosophy of the program. This is who we are. This is the way we're going to do things, and here's why. And the first thing I sat down, I said, you know what, here's what we're going to want. This is what we're going to be about. This is what we want for our players. The first thing we want for our players is for them to get their education. They're going to get their education. I would rather lose trying to do it right than to win knowing that we didn't. I played with so many guys that the band cheered for, the people clapped for while they were playing this game, that didn't leave with a degree. And then 10 years later, it's sad. I've never wanted that for my players. I want to know that my players are going to. So this is how we set the vision of the program. We're going to make sure that our guys get their degree. They get an education. We're going to make sure that we equip them with tools for life. How to show up on time. How to put in the work. How to win and lose. How to be a good teammate, how to handle adversity, how to handle criticism. Tools that you better have when you go out in the real world. The third thing is I want them to have a great college experience. Let's have some fun. I want them to love their experience. I want to surround them with people that they're going to love to be around. And then the last thing was I want them to win a championship. And it's in that order. And I think what happens is people put that the opposite. They say, okay, winning championships the very first thing. So now all of a sudden, those other things fall to the wayside. But we've kept it the main thing, the main thing. So here I am. It's not my first year as the head coach. It's 9 years. So how are we doing? How are we walking and living the vision of the program? Well, I've had 171 seniors and 166 graduates. And those five, they owe me, and they're going to get it. I'll chase them down to the edge of the earth until they get it. And we're going to pay for it. All right? So I think that we're walking the walk. We're the only school in the country that has been top 15 in football and top 10 academically in the country 5 years in a row. Last year we had 40 during the championship run last fall. We're taking finals now, but last fall we had 48 guys make a 3.0 or better. And in the spring, after winning the national championship, we set the school record with 53 guys that made a 3.0 or better. And the thing I'm most proud of, which kind of speaks to the culture of what I'm talking about, last year there were 103 juniors that declared for the draft early. Said, hey, I'm leaving college, I'm going pro, I'm this and that. 103 juniors that said, hey, I'm in, I'm going to the draft. Only 8 of those 103 had a degree. But 4 of those 8 came from Clemson. Deshaun Watson graduated in 3 years. Mike Williams graduated in 3 years. Artavis Scott and Wayne Gallman. And so that's culture. And that is keeping the main thing the main thing. So I know I took a little time on that one, but you young people, you need to hear me on that now. You've got to get your education. You've got to have something else to stand on other than the game of football. And for us, I love winning. The fun's in the winning, as I say all the time. Ain't nobody celebrating in the locker room when you get your butt beat. But it's how you win that matters. It's how you win that matters. If you're winning, but you're not impacting and changing your players' lives, you coaches in here, you lose. Okay? That's just the way it is. So I want to stress that. And the next one I would say is attitude. One of the things that I say all the time is the only disability in life is a bad attitude. I mean, I have people that I see sometimes that they have the least, and man, they are the happiest people I know. I have a Down syndrome young man that works on our staff. He's the happiest kid I know. Every day, every single day, we all have issues. We all have things. This is life. We all have setbacks. We all have failures. We all hurt. We all have screwed up issues in our family. But at the end of the day, one of the most powerful choices that you have is the choice of attitude. The choice of attitude. A good attitude leads to positive thinking. And positive thinking is the foundation for positive results. All right? It is so important that y'all understand that. It's one of the few things that you do control in your life. Happy people just think differently. I just believe that. Happy people think differently. It's the optimist that changes the world. It's not the person sitting around saying, I ain't never going to do that. How many of y'all got some of them in your family? No, you ain't going to be able to do that. It's the optimist that changes the world. You know, when you choose to have the right attitude, it's not going to change your circumstance. It doesn't change that maybe your mom's sick in the hospital. It doesn't change the fact maybe you just lost your job. But when you choose the right attitude, it creates hope in the future. And like it says in Jeremiah 29:11, man, if you've got hope in the future, you've got power in the present to deal with what you are thinking about. And for me, as a young person with a total mess in my family, the one thing that I have always hung on to, was the power of my attitude. And having a positive attitude created a hope beyond my circumstances. Created a belief that, you know what? One of these days it'll be different. And so I just want to challenge y'all as you go through your life to live your life with a smile.
We're going to define, and we have a define, everybody calls it the process. This is what you have to do to accomplish these things. And that's what everybody's got to be committed to. And that's what your behavior has to correspond so that the habits have to correspond so that your behavior is helping you do the things you need to do to have a chance to be successful. Who do you need to work with? What kind of discipline do you have to have, which is probably the most important thing. Because the third part of that is you want to do these things, here's what you have to do it. No different than any of us wanting to lose 10 pounds. That's our goal. Slim Fast tells you exactly what you can eat every day. Every meal, every plan, everything you have to do. It's not an issue. That's the process. That's what we have to do. Discipline to execute it every day. That's where we all struggle. What is discipline? I'm sure there's some sign up in every one of these high schools around here that says discipline is doing what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, the way it's supposed to get done, do the right thing, the right way, the right time, all the time. But self-discipline I define as this. Here's something I know I'm supposed to do that I really don't want to do. Can you make yourself do it? Over here, there's something you know you're not supposed to do, but you want to do it. Can you keep yourself from it? So if you can make those two choices, and we make them 100 times a day, all of us, in terms of all the things that we get confronted with, if you can make those choices and decisions and have the discipline to do those things, then you'll be able to stay on the path of what you have to do to accomplish the goals that you have. No different than that diet that we talked about. Because what you have to overcome to be successful is feeling versus choice. How many times as parents out there or as coaches do you hear people say, young people say, I don't feel like studying. I don't feel like going to class today. I don't feel like getting up and going to work. I don't feel like practicing. It's not about what you feel like doing. If you have a goal and something that you want to accomplish, then you have to choose to do the things that you need to do to accomplish the goal. You can't do what you feel like doing, because those behaviors don't always match up. Don't tell me you want to play in the NFL. Don't tell me you want to graduate, and then I bring you in my office and your behaviors don't match that up. You're not going to class, and you say you don't feel like practicing. So those behaviors don't match up to do the things you need to do to accomplish the goals that you have. And all of us have to, at some point in time, make these choices and decisions based on our vision or based on our circumstance. All right, when we focus on the circumstance that we're in, that's what creates problems in us being able to do the things that we need to do to accomplish the vision that we have. You know, Chuck Pagano, who was the coach of the Indianapolis Colts a few years ago, had cancer, missed the whole season, had 4-stage cancer. He beat it. All right, but when their team got in the playoffs, there was a speech on CBS, you know, in the locker room after the game, and there's one part of that speech I remember. And he said, I'm going to focus on my vision, not my circumstance. My vision is I want to see my daughters grow up and I want to dance at their wedding. My circumstance is I have cancer. So he focused on his vision, and he actually beat the cancer, and he's cancer-free now and doing very well, and his daughters are growing up, and one day he will dance at that wedding. So having a goal, having a vision for what you want to do, having the discipline to stick to the process and make the choices and decisions that you have to do to accomplish that is really significant to being successful. And everybody's got to understand out there, and every one of you players especially, you know, the road to success is always under construction. Success is not a continuum. Just because you're successful today, you're getting an award today, you just won the last game, that doesn't mean you're going to continue to be successful. It's not a continuum. It's momentary. It's what happens now. And then what becomes most important is what do you do next. All right, but it's not the human condition, all right, to get an A on the first test and then say, I'm going to get the highest grade in the class. The human condition is get an A on the test. Oh, I can take it easy for 2 weeks, make a C on the next test, have a B average, and I'm very happy with that because I did good. I did well. That's good enough. But that's not good enough to really be successful because you're being complacent. And complacency creates a blatant disregard for not doing the right thing. You think that you don't need to continue to do the things that helped you be successful. And this doesn't make, this is the same if you're selling cars, all right, or if you're trying to be a good football player or you're trying to graduate from school. Whatever you do, you have to continue to challenge yourself and focus on what's in front of you, the challenges that are in front of you, and don't look back, always look forward. All right, because people ask me all the time, how do you continue to be successful? That's what we have to do. We have to teach our players. They're only good as their last play. They're only as good as their last game. Every time they have to focus and prepare, and it should be about them trying to be the best players that they can be. It's the only way you're going to be successful. You know, Kobe Bryant was very interesting when he came and talked to our team. I always thought he was a great athlete. I never knew what kind of a person he really was. And this is one of the people, as a person, makes me have the ultimate respect for what he accomplished and what he did. You know, one of the players asked him a question, what motivates you more? How much you love to win or how much you hate to lose? He said neither one. What motivates me is I want to be the best. I want to be the best player that I can be. I try to be perfect. I know I can't be perfect, but I'm going to close the gap on perfect in my performance because I'm going to work every day to do it. Next question. How did you score 60 points when you were 40 years old in the last play that you ever played, last game that you played in your career? And he said, I worked 8 hours a day for 365 days out of the year so that I could play that season. They don't put that part on ESPN. All right, so here's a guy that is one of the greatest players of all time, and he continued to try to be the best player that he could be. You know, I talk a lot about self-respect. We were playing Vanderbilt a year ago. They were 3-0. All right, we're 3-0, And as soon as we go 3-0, I'm thinking, how am I going to get our players up to play Vanderbilt? They don't have a lot of respect for them. They are a little better than they usually are. All right, so this is going to be a little tougher game. We got to play up there. So one of their players gets on ESPN after they beat Kansas State and says, Bama, you're next. So now our guys, they're ready to go. I don't have to say anything. So we go up there and play the best game that we played all year. I think it was 65-0, like maybe at halftime. All right, and I'm trying to figure out how not to score. But the question that I had for the players after the game was, you all felt disrespected by what this player said. Now, you wouldn't know the guy from Adam's House Cat if he walked in the room right now. Nobody would recognize him. Nobody would know who he was. But he put it out there, all right, that you're next. So you all felt disrespected by this guy. So that disrespect really motivated you to go out and play great, which you did, and I appreciate. But why do we need that guy to do that? If you have any self-respect and you want to be the best player that you can be, you want to be the best person you can be, you want to be the best student that you can be, why do you have to have somebody else dog you, all right, to motivate you to get ready to do that? What about your self-respect of knowing you did your best to be the best you could be? So nobody could answer. Got no answer, got no response. All right, but that's a question really for all of us. You know, I talk about success is not a continuum, but to be successful, and most of us work in some organization with other people, we need to be positive and affect other people in a positive way that are around us. And it takes a little otherness. You know what otherness means? You put the other person first, all right, so that you can be positive, all right, about how you affect the people around you. And it goes a long way in terms of being a leader. If someone's going to be a leader, the first thing you need to do is set a good example. You got to be somebody that somebody wants to emulate. And you got to care enough about another person to help them for their benefit. Not for your benefit, that's manipulation. For their benefit. And it may be something as simple as teaching them to do something a little better, a better way. All right, because if you're going to be a leader, you have to serve other people. Never pass up the opportunity to say, I appreciate you. Never pass up an opportunity to tell someone they did a good job, all right, because we really want to serve other people. That'll make you feel better about yourself than anything that you can do. And I always ask people a question, and you can ask yourself this question and do a little inventory on yourself, is how do you pray? Do you pray to be blessed, or do you pray to be a blessing? Somebody else has to bless you. You can be a blessing to everybody that you meet every day by how you treat those people, how you think of them, and how you help them along the way in terms of your impact and your positive energy and attitude on what they do. So helping others. You know, people only remember one thing. How did you make them feel? That's all they remember. In the long run, that's all they remember. When they meet you, when they talk to you, how did you make them feel? So if you really want to create value for yourself, you have to be positive, and other people have to say and feel good about how you make them feel. And that's hard because everybody's self-absorbed. They think about how it affects me, and you got to go to the otherness part. How does it affect them? And that's really important. So if you're going to have a successful team, everybody's got to work to the same standard. You know, everybody's got to understand. You got to keep focusing on what's in front of you. You got to be positive in your work. All right, but if you're going to have any team chemistry in your organization, everybody's got to work to the same standard. And if you don't, you're not doing anybody a favor if you don't make them do that. If you don't confront and demand that they do that. Because you're never going to have any team chemistry in your organization. Because if you got these people over here half-stepping and these people over here working and doing the job that you want them to do, they're never going to respect each other. Mediocre people don't like high achievers, and high achievers don't like mediocre people. So if you let it coexist on your team or in your organization, you're never really ever going to have any kind of team chemistry. And then ultimately, everybody out there, and I'm talking to the players mostly, You got to be responsible for your own self-determination. What does that mean? You got to be accountable to do your job. And it can't be somebody else's fault just because things don't go the way you want them to go. You have to take responsibility for that. You have to understand somebody defined what I was supposed to do. What part of that did I not do well? And then go get it fixed, all right, so that you have a chance to be successful and be the best that you can be.
Quickest way to be successful is to build those people up around you, individually as well as collectively. So you're special because you're learning that. And you're learning it at the right age, because when you go on other teams to provide for people that are dependent on you, as you've learned about your players that are dependent on you, you learn to give of yourself with true humility, where you think of others more than you do yourself. Build the people up around you to be successful. And you are so special because you have that opportunity, one in a lifetime, to play high school football. Once in a lifetime to be able to play football, period. And to the ones that go into a higher level, the same thing applies. And you're so special because you're smart. Because again, with all the things that you have to make split decisions out there on that field and changing defenses and offenses, making check, you have to do it within a split second. But everybody can't do that. You can do that and maintain your dignity and your morals and your character. And that's why you're special. And I want to say this to the coaches, you're special also. Because I know how it is with players. It takes a lot of time. And you're doing it for the right reason. But these are three things I want to encourage the coaches to keep, and you have it. And I call them 3 C's to help develop these young men. The first thing is you continue to give them compliments, sincere compliments on what they have done correctly. Continue to give them those. The second thing is to continue to give them confidence. Now, let me clarify this. Confidence is where you encourage people and you let them know that they can become and do what you're asking them to do. Continue to give them the confidence. But the third C is the most important one. And this is the one I want you to underline, put a circle around, and put ditto marks around them. You have to really care about your players. Because if you don't care, they can see through you. And if you don't care, you can't compliment them sincerely. And if you don't care, you can't give them confidence sincerely. But now let me tell you this, and players, you need to understand this. That caring doesn't always come in lovey-dovey, rubbing your back and patting you on the head. That love sometimes coming to have to, hit you on the bottom. And I don't know whether you can do this, forgive me, but now back in our days, they could grab your face mag and pull you 10 yards. Some of that is caring. But coaches continue to give them those 3 C's. Sincere compliments, confidence, and the most important one is to care. And remember, coaches, players, you are so special because you only get one in a lifetime to do something that is extraordinary. Thank you all so much. I told you I was going to be like Marilyn Monroe. I'm not going to keep you long. Thank you.
Should planning your travel be more stressful than staying at home? Of course not. Here at Lumpkin Travel, our VIP service makes traveling easy and fun.
Girls Trip!
We've helped serve thousands of people and families experience their dream vacation by taking the hassle out of travel.
Thank you.
We book your flight, reserve your hotel, and make sure you have a stress-free vacation so you can enjoy every moment of it.
Thank you.
We even help you choose different activities that you're guaranteed to enjoy. And the best part is, we find you the best price at no extra charge for you. Roughly 95% of customers save money and time by booking with Lumpkin Travel. So start thinking about your dream vacation. Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, we'll make it happen for you. As easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today or log on and set up your vacation of a lifetime with Lumpkin Travel, your travel agent for life.
E&S Men's Clothing Warehouse has been your most trusted name in men's fashion for more than 50 years. We've offered the area's best selection of top quality, name brand suits, accessories, and casual wear at the most competitive prices around. Customer service is our top priority. We're the professionals generations have trusted for the best quality and absolutely the best deals. We are E&S Men's Clothing Warehouse. We are simply the best.
Come into Chester's Barbecue for our world-famous mouth-watering ribs, smoked fresh on our grill daily. Or try one of our barbecue pork plates with fresh sides. Chester's has delicious sandwich combos to choose from that are sure to please. We also serve tempting home-cooked favorites. And don't forget to take home your own bottle of great sauce. Chester's Barbecue, serving the best food at the best price, with 3 locations to serve you.
Hey, my name is George, and I love the Chick-fil-A grilled nuggets. It's like me grilling at home. It tastes very similar to that, except the seasoning. I probably can't season it as well as Chick-fil-A does. The chicken's super tender, and honestly, the best nuggets I've ever tasted.
My name is Meredith, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is the oven-toasted, cheesy top layer. If home had a flavor, it would be Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. I'm passionate about it.
People know Aflac, but not what they do. So we're answering their questions.
Aflac is auto insurance, right?
No.
Is it homeowner's insurance?
No.
Is it duck insurance?
Nope.
Do they pay me money directly when I get sick or injured?
Yeah! Aflac! You got it! You know Aflac.
Boom.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Get to know us at Aflac.com.
For all of your tire and service needs, be sure to visit Complete Tire and Service, 3109 Victory Drive in Columbus. For your convenience, we have a 20,000 square foot state-of-the-art building, premium environment to the customer. For workstations, Wi-Fi, we carry Bridgestone, Firestone, Falcon, and Continental. Our managers have over 125 combined years in the industry. We have 24/7 commercial roadside assistance, DOT inspections, complete automotive services. Our phone number is 706-940-0982. Be sure to visit Complete Tire and Service, 706-940-0982.
Gear up for fall at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones. You might know me from my athletic career at Carver High School at the University of Georgia or my sports broadcasting career. I know a lot of people. But when it comes to an attorney I trust, I call Forrest B. Johnson.
I'm Forrest Johnson of Forrest B. Johnson & Associates. And I want to let you know how proud we are to be a part of your community, a part of the Columbus community and the Phoenix, Alabama community. Consider us first. When you or any member of your family has been involved in an automobile accident, remember, car wreck, get a check.
Call now, 706-223-5381.
And that's all the time that we have for today, and we'd just like to thank you all from DJ to Loretta Rose. Thank you for watching Sports Visions. See you next week.